Hi there. Let me relay to you the result of the feedback form that I asked you to answer last quarter. In General Mathematics, Quarter 1 with Mr. Abel. The respondents of the said feedback form are 196 students from STEM 1, 2, ABM 1, ABM 7, UMS 1, 2, and 6, such that 70.4% are from blended learning and 29.6% are from printed modular distance learning. Let me share to you the responses of those who are enrolled to blended learning. The question here is about what is your level of learning here in the most essential learning competencies. So we can see that the the graph of the of each competency, we can see that they are most likely banked in the left side, meaning to say students have higher levels of learning. When asked to check all the characteristics that apply to each learning task, wherein the blue parts are the blue bar means parts are coherent, red means easy more than difficult, yellow is based on experience, green relevant to the lesson, purple steers critical thinking, blue cyan means clear, and magenta, which means answers are searchable in Google. The least among these is that the answers are searchable in Google. This compensates why this item, which says easy more than difficult, is not so high in most of the performance tasks. What I am happy to see is that students are able to see that the activities or the performance tasks are seen as relevant to the lesson and steers critical thinking. And the third would either be it's either clear or parts are coherent. So we are happy to know that you recognize these. This is also true with reflections, but what dominates our description for reflection is that it is based on experience. With reflection 5, students perceive that reflection 5 is more relevant to the lesson rather than based on experience. However, these two characteristics dominates our description for reflection. And again, the answers are not easily to be searched in Google. Now, let's assess the platforms that we used. For Google Form, 67.4% recommended it, and they said that it's easy to use. Instructions are clear, accessible. So they all have a good thumbs up for Google Form. Now, we also have here in Google Classroom, so most are in good standing for Google Classroom, as well as in Google Meet. Okay, Google Classroom's question. We also have a good reception for this one. Google Classroom's assignment wherein PDF or photo are turned in. Google Classroom's assignment, they all also have positive reception for this one. Soft copy of references, also we have positive reception. Messenger's group chat, so we can see that is the most accessible among them, and they said that the instructions here are clear too. YouTube help videos, so it is most recommendable. And we have Jamboard. It's also recommendable, but it's not that too easy to use for the most of the people. For preferences, this would discuss two opposing ideas. Say, for example, asynchronous and synchronous sessions. So 32 out of 138 students responded that they would prefer synchronous more. And they would absolutely love synchronous sessions. For 11%, they would love asynchronous sessions more. And there are 55 plus 40 people who are caught in the middle. But the tendency of the people is to have or to prefer synchronous sessions more. But in this quarter, we still have synchronous and asynchronous sessions just for you to have a better understanding of things within an hour. Which would you prefer between write, scan, upload, or Google Form? 6 people would find it more easy to write their answers on a paper, scan it, and then upload it, rather than 86 people who will prefer to write or type it just in Google Forms rather than writing, scanning, and then uploading. And then there are 7 plus 39 people who are caught in the middle. So they would accommodate write, scan, or upload, and Google Form half-half. Okay. Which would you prefer between Meet videos and Google Meet videos uploaded at Google Drive or YouTube uploaded videos? So we can see here 45 or 32.6% of the respondents would like to see the lessons in YouTube rather than on Google Meet videos or recorded sessions. So some would prefer these Google Meet videos at Google Drive rather than at YouTube. So 21 and 35 persons are caught in the middle, and they can accommodate either of the two. Next, which would you prefer between printed modular distance learning or blended learning? So we want to assess whether you would stick to your blended learning with your experience of it, and 92 people or 66.7 would definitely stick to blended learning, while 26.8% would stick to blended learning but are amenable in transferring to printed modular distance learning. And 5 would prefer modular distance learning but can accommodate to blended learning. And there are 4 who would like to shift from blended learning to printed modular distance learning. Now, I am so happy to read some of the comments, and let me share some of those. For me, it seems like online class is really effective once it is done regularly. So these are the people, or one of the people rather, who would prefer synchronous than asynchronous. However, because of emergency circumstances, I understand that we cannot do it. Still, I wish to have it so that I can have my focus on the lesson and have a correct learning instead of searching on different sites to study, which offers somewhat different concepts. As I am not really confident in my mathematics skills, I think I am a bit conscious of my answers. Hence, I sometimes get lower than what I wanted to score. Yet, I know I poured my efforts on it, and it is what I'm proud of as of now. So congratulations. Congratulations though, you get a lower score, but still you know that it's yours. So I'm happy that you are also happy and proud of those scores. In cases of numbers of activities, I think that I have no complaints on it since it will always be one performance task and one reflection. That is what I still want to experience next gradings. Sure, I hope that reflections can be more as personal as it is, because it will give me the chance to showcase how my understanding relate to my life as a student. Also, in discussions, I hope that it will be on Taglish for me to understand it more, since mathematical terms are somehow confusing for me. Okay, so I cannot give in to that request, since what we want is a mastery on the language. So we declare that our language are English and Tagalog, or Filipino rather. So if we can discuss it in English, I'll discuss it in English. But if we can discuss it in Filipino, if you'd like, I'll discuss it in Filipino. But I think the better way to understand it more, those mathematical terms, are illustration of those mathematical terms. So I think I would provide more examples and counter examples for you to understand those mathematical terms. This type of learning is really helpful for me, and I am really happy that I am able to understand the topics in general mathematics. Honestly, all of the instructions you gave are very clear and precise. That's why I'm very thankful. You're welcome. Also, you gave us examples in our activity that can make me understand the topic well. I just wanted to say that I am sometimes confused in the reflection you gave because it's always personal, but it's still helpful because I am able to create my own personal real-life representation of the topic in Gen Math. So overall, I am still thankful to you because you really helped me a lot in learning new things in mathematics, and I hope that I can do better next time. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you po. Again, what can I say except you're welcome? Okay. It was so nice that I was able to understand our lessons in a way that I got to relate it to through to life. It would be great if every task will be demonstrated because that helps me answer all the tasks. What I mean is the uploading of videos on YouTube, and I'm very thankful for that, sir. Again, you're welcome. I hope that some of the instructions are explained simpler, especially in the reflection activities. I'll try to. I didn't have a hard time understanding other instructions besides some in reflections. Okay, we'll try to analyze which of those reflections. Other than that, I'm satisfied with anything. Thank you so much for the effort, sir. Again, you're welcome. I really learned a lot in this subject, especially when it is synchronous classes. I can say that I have the advantage to briefly and deeply understand the lesson. Also, Sir Abel is a great teacher, thank you, and very considerate in giving us the time in answering our tasks and reflections. I am looking forward in the next grading when I'll be able to understand the lessons and learn effectively. Using the Jamboard is also effective and links associated in the Google Classroom. I'll try to do it again this quarter. This kind of setup is hard. There are many instances where it affects my learning, like the signal. There are times that I can't attend the meet because of poor signal, and this affects me because it sometimes gives me a hard time understanding the lesson and answering the tasks. The recorded meets and recorded YouTube videos about the lesson is a great help. This video saved my activities, I guess. Thanks God. I'm really hoping that I can get used to this kind of learning modality. I also want to express my gratitude to you, sir, because of your patience and efforts for your students so we can clearly understand the lesson. It is my pleasure to serve you. Okay. My only suggestion po is every GenMat po ay synchronous pero depende na po sa inyo. Kung every GenMat ay synchronous, pwede nyo rin po gawin through YouTube videos. Tuwing asynchronous para po ikaw and kami pong mga estudyante ay makapagpahinga. Kahit konti. Ito lang po ang suggestion ko para ma-explain ng every lesson at para na din po ma-entertain ng mga question namin about the lesson through Google Meet. I'll try to. Masasabi ko na dapat nagbibigay ng example ang mga guro ng mas maliwanag nang sa ganun ay makapagsagot ang mga estudyante at hindi matambakan ng gawain. Sige, sabihin ko. Dapat din ay mahinahon na magpaliwanag ang mga guro para ang mga estudyante ay ganahang makinig. Ginaganahan ka na ba? Makinig? Ang mga Google Form din ay masasabi kong madaling gamitin dahil hindi na kinakailangan magsulat sa papel. At ang kinakailangan na lang gawin ay i-type ang kasagutan. Okay, so this generation would found it easy to type rather than write. Okay. About po sa subject na ito, totoo pong nahihirapan po ako. May times po kasi na mahirap pong intindihin ng lesson pero with the help naman po ng mga videos na sinesend or napapanood sa YouTube para po sa additional information ng lesson, ay napakalaking tulong po para maintindihan ko ang lesson. Wala na pong madali. Pero nakukuha naman po kung pagsisikapang maintindihan. Okay, take note, this is a tip. Wala naman pong madali, pero nakukuha naman po kung pagsisikapang maintindihan. Kung gusto naman po talagang matuto o maintindihan yung lesson ay may mga paraan. Wala rin po akong magagawa kung yun po yung cover ng lesson, kung ito po ba ay mahirap o madali. Mahirap po, pero kakayanin. Aja! Blended learning is much better for me, but sometimes using online platforms is difficult. Some lessons and tasks are easy for me, but some are not. Okay, answering the reflections makes me excited because it is related in real-life situations. I just find it hard when I didn't understand the lesson or I was not able to attend the meeting. I hope you'll attend all of our meetings next time. Sir, Tagalog na lang po isusulat ko. Minsan po kasi nahihirapan po ako i-analyze yung ibang situation. Naguguluhan po ako dahil mahirap po ang tumingin lang sa YouTube. Wala naman po akong ibang idea sa ating lesson, so kaya po minsan natingin na lang po ako sa Google. Pero hindi ko po ginagaya lahat. Nakuha lang po ako ng idea doon. Yun lang po. Thank you. Okay. Sir, I just want to say that because I'm in a hurry, I don't always understand what's being said. I know that some of my classmates are quick to grasp concepts, but I often find myself perplexed. I hope that this makes sense. Also, I'm hoping we'll be able to request at least PowerPoints or videos, especially if we're asynchronous. Okay, I'll try. May I request for the activities next quarter? May you upload videos like on YouTube as what we've done in previous quarter? I found it more interesting, and I can repeat the videos as much as I can until I already understand a certain topic. Thank you po. You're welcome. This quarter's lesson, I must say, was challenging for me since I'm not a student who's easy enough to learn math lessons. When it comes to math subject, I'm not able to understand easily the lesson and it requires me a lot of understanding for me to fully comprehend the topic. Our education system right now made it a lot harder for me to catch up with lesson. Though, when I'm asking my fellow classmates, thankfully, I got to understand the lesson. Doesn't mean our teacher is not effective in teaching us. Okay, Sir Abel is a great teacher, and I acknowledge him for that, considering he is a very considerate teacher. So, consideration begets consideration. He always explains the lesson very well with such a calming voice, with which lessens my nervousness during the class. Okay, I hope my calming voice would not make you asleep as you listen to my class. I hope the next quarters I am able to understand easily the lessons for me to answer our performance tasks and reflections early and pass it on time. Okay. Sa klase mo po sir, napakaganda po. Tulad po ng lahat po ng meet natin, ire-record nyo po, then i-upload nyo po sa classroom. Tapos syempre po, mababalik-balikan po namin and super effort po kayo na may pa-jamboard pa po kayo para talaga pong nasa classroom lang po. Kasi syempre po ngayon, pandemic, ang hirap pong matuto lalo na po sa math. Kasi nga po, di ba, ang math po is kailangan talaga na maituro ng maigi kasi may numbers and kailangan po ng solutions and others. Gusto ko din po sir yung nag-upload po kayo ng mga galing din po sa YouTube. Madami po kayong binibigay ng mga way sa amin para matuto po talaga kami. And isa pa po sir, kapag magtuturo po kayo is very clear, pati mabait po talaga kayo, yung parang hindi po kami matatakot na sumagot ng alam namin na sagot. Miski tama or mali kasi mahinahan po kayo, pati kalmado lang po ang boses niyo po. Yan lang po sir. Sana po hindi po kayo magbago at recommendable po ang mga ginagawa niyo pong way ng pagtuturo. 5 stars po kayo for me. Hehe. Oh, thank you. 5 stars. My son will be very happy for those 5 stars. Thank you very much. Thank you too. I do prefer asynchronous lessons rather than synchronous ones because if I were to watch the lessons live, I get too overwhelmed and can't keep up with the lessons. At least when it's asynchronous, I can watch the YouTube videos sent and can play back to where I didn't understand. Okay, so these are varying opinions. Some preferred synchronous and while some other absolute asynchronous lessons. This first quarter in Gen Math has been a good learning experience. Thanks God. It was not easy, yet I still learned a lot. I am grateful because the number of tasks every week was not too much. Other than that, I am thankful because our synchronous sessions do not last for more than an hour. Because of this, I can use the remaining time to accomplish the tasks. There were days when we would not conduct online classes, but it was totally fine for me since there were provided videos and modules that guide us in solving the given tasks. Also, not conducting online classes weekly can help my mental health. I do not feel stressed and pressured so much. I hope that in the next quarter, this will remain the same so that learning will always be fun. Okay. And that's the end of the slideshow. And I hope you gained insights from your batchmates on how Gen Math is learned. And I hope we'll have more learning opportunities this second quarter. Have a nice day.